by Olaf, of course, has that potential with the Ragnarok. There will be big no damage issues, given Alistar, Rek'Sai, and Maokai, between the three of them, have maybe one champion's worth of damage.
So not a matchup we've seen very much this season, in spite of traditionally it being thought of as a nice counter pick to a mid lane LeBlanc. CuVee slowly pushing forward. There's the twisted advance coming through. There's the arcane smash. CuVee running into the river right now, and he will join up with Ambition. Now is Lissandra going to move? The mid lane is fighting as well. CuVee is going to disengage, and somehow Mickey gets the kill onto Crown. No flash or ignite used. Very surprising. Ambition gonna try and maybe finish this one off and force a flash at the very least.
Go from a mid laner that's really been leveling up. We're gonna see the replay.
Yeah, gonna come in here with the chains.
And the chains hit.
Oh.
Awkward.
Yeah, very awkward. The route just long enough to not be able to follow up for the second hit of the E. Here looking around, they want to capitalize on this lack of level 6, and there's the ultimate that's going to get chained in. No! The cocoon not quite there. They are going to get the kill. Crown is trapped under the turret. Lira on the counter gank. Meanwhile, Iksu shows up with the TP. CuVee's TP is down, and Ambition is getting boxed in right now. But he is going to land a cocoon onto Iksu, but the follow-up is going to be there eventually. Ambition on a suicidal race right now actually dodges out of the knockup, but he will fall to Lira as he's hunted down deep in enemy territory.
It doesn't clear waves. It's Mickey's inner ward.
I should have known that. There's a TP coming through though, and it is going to be Iksu showing right up, and Ambition gets exploded as Mickey uses his ignite. Iksu following up on the crowd control with a twisted advance. And Snowflower now here for Crown. There's the combo flashing, and guess what? Iksu will pick up another one for the Freaks. They're going to get a mid-turret too. This is turning into a rout. Absolutely horrible sign, because this is going to open up the map so much for AFREECA. And with Mickey being quite fed at this point, he shouldn't have too much trouble roaming and diving turrets on the other sides of the map. And
they are not taking the pedal off the accelerator.
No, they are not. And there's CuVee once again. He's going to get chained, but Mickey backs out of the dive. Yep, they will grab a dragon though.
So this is the sort of trade that would have made a lot of sense last season, where stacking dragons had a priority.
But 20 minutes first, or second dragon rather, is not great. Still working on it, but it is only about a third HP down. Mickey going to take a lot of damage, and some undertow. He's going to come in, force the flash, and CuVee going to fall eventually. Crown looking for an answering kill, but can't find it. Meanwhile, Sangyoon and Snowflower do work in the mid lane. No follow-up, just hitting that pulverize and disengaging after that turret loss, and starts putting pressure on all three lanes.
They're going to get onto Iksu, though. Iksu's going to die. It's very, very tanky. Oh, will he die? Fell super low. Finally dies. It felt like Samsung kind of just had a rush of blood. They decided that they could kill Mickey.
When that option comes available, should AFREECA get the rest of them. And Snowflower now just going to start bossing around Stitch. We'll see Wraith thrown at him, and now AFREECA actually coming in for the commitment. Stitch trying to hop his way out of this one. Lira's going to find a double knockup on the Crown. They have to ult the Rek'Sai. That's not who you want to ult. And Crown now bounced right back in. The twisted advance. Sangyoon comes through for a finisher, and they're going to get 3 for 1. Snowflower falling in the very end, but this should be AFREECA cracking the base and getting the first inhibitor.
Multiple skirmishes going on at the same time in that fight. The big issue was that Ambition tried to tie up Sangyoon so he couldn't group, but has no armor whatsoever. It's purely itemized into Locket, so Sangyoon made quick work and then was far quicker at rotating into his team. They picked their targets, they took them down, and now they take down an inhibitor.
Okay.
I'm pretty concerned if that's the only mechanic he can pull off is Lira.
Yeah, Lira going to come in for a big knockup here, and now Iksu comes around from the flank, but Ambition's going to get a kill onto Lira. Sangyoon has to use his QSS. He's trying to gun down Ambition. Meanwhile, Mickey attempting to clean up on the side here, and he's going to fall, so it's only 2 members left. 4 still up for Samsung. Snowflower late on the ult pop. Iksu is going to be whittled down eventually, and there's a pulverize to stomp the spider. Crown now the next target, but he's not going to fall.
If you're fighting in the enemy jungle with a dual threat comp, you need to be on the same page.
2 minutes until a possible number 4 here from AFREECA. Holy cow. Wraith gonna take it, but Mickey again caught out and killed and they're going to try and TP in with ikssu, but that's not going to work. CuVee, they're on the defense, and Samsung now trying to turn this around. Crown comes in with a W. He will zone his Hourglass Ambition. Caught out on the side, but there is Olaf on top of Lucian. He's going to get the flash, and that's going to be a turnaround here from CuVee to dodge the damage coming in from the culling. AFREECA trying to get this, but one of their damage threats picked off early. They're going to finish off Snowflower for sure, who splits off from the rest of his team, and that is 2 for none.
Their terms rather than these unorganized jungle fights. So we might see a big team fight here.
Well, they're going to take it. That's number 4. Snowflower getting low, but does pop the Unbreakable Will. Wraith now targeted in the front line, but here comes Crown. He's going to ult himself. Get a nice ult in the front line. He's going to be bounced around after that, though, and he doesn't fall. Zhonya's Hourglass will save him. CuVee still trying to run at Sangyoon, but he is protected. No one's dead yet besides this ikssu, but they're starting to turn it around. Samsung now. And Samsung gets a triple kill on Quadra. It's going to be the first penta of the season, and it will be for Stitch in his first game on this Kalista. They took out the Maokai, but that was the first of many pieces to fall, and now AFREECA gets perfect aced with the penta.
Consistent damage is almost completely absent for AFREECA.
Well, look, Stitch also has a Sterix gauge.
This is Season 6, 2016 AD carry itemization.
Crown's play in these team fights has really made up for the poor laning phase that he had. Lira just going to get picked off right here. Not quite. Does tunnel his way to freedom for now until this dragon. Mickey is going to get caught and has to come over the wall. Gets the flash, but the ult hits him anyway. Wraith now on the warpath, and he's just going to ignite him. And that's the end of Mickey, and that's probably the end of AFREECA's hopes in this game unless they get some sort of miraculous steal, which I think maybe you go for right now.
It might be worth considering 55 seconds on Mickey, which is a very, very long time. It's the reality of Mickey trying to make something happen. How do you make things happen as a LeBlanc against the lineup that she's against?
Well, here we go, pushing forward now. They are going to get their first inhibitor, answering back with a push all the way down the mid lane. Yes, it will. They have that rend. Here we go. The turn from Samsung is coming. Is that TP going to be canceled? No, it's not. Wraith just going to get popped right in with the Fate's Call, and ikssu just melts in that front line. Lira tries to get into the back. Stitch here all over Sangyoon alongside, and there we go. Wraith there to help out, and that's going to be a double kill for Ambition. Wraith takes out Sangyoon, and that is 4 for 1. CuVee dies, but that's going to be the end of this game as super minions pushing up and only the jungler left on the rift for AFREECA.
It evolved into a tale of 2 tanks. One of them in ikssu goes in with his only CC, gets shredded by Trundle and dies to Kalista, and all the tanks from Samsung's side died Sangyoon. He dies in the front line. Lyra's going to be the icing on the cake, and it's a win for Samsung.
Not quite the icing, did manage to get back